So, welcome, bienvenue to Restorative Yoga on a Friday morning. And before I forget, and this is your opportunity to dash off and go and get your stuff. Today, I plan to do some hip opening stuff. So a belt, any kind of belt would be useful. So if you've not got a belt, then you can use a couple of ties tied together, or a big towel, or a belt from a dressing gown. You know, yeah, excellent. Oh, brilliant. Looking good. Looking good. So yeah, so we need that, and a couple of blocks have come in handy. And I know one or two of you have got your blocks ready. So the blocks will be good. And for more dedicated practitioners, for generally good piece of kit is this. I use a meditation cushion. This has had years and years of jolly good service, or meditation stool. So all good stuff to having your yoga kit. So let's get rid of these for now. Okay. And then just waiting for his mic there. Everybody's there. Cool. So yeah, let's make a start. So yeah, today in the session, I just feel like we could do with a bit of, you know, intense restorative today, and so what that means is really about getting into the body, about slowing down, and really getting rejuvenated. And the best way I find often to start a yoga session is simply lying down. So let's lie down on the floor, and I'll just adjust the screen so you can see the lying downness of the situation. Yeah, so I'll clear these blocks and stuff out of the way. So yeah, coming down onto the floor, and when we first come down, it's quite nice to bring the knees into the chest. So bringing the knees into the chest and just allowing the head to rest back onto the floor, but making the neck long by bringing the chin down to the chest. So make the neck long, and maybe you could just gently move it from side to side, and allowing then the feet to come down to the floor, and having the feet far enough away from the body so that the muscles can relax. So we're not going to come into this kind of position. You know, we're not going to push up into bridge pose yet. So the feet are as far enough away, and then just giving the legs a bit of a shake to give the booty a bit of a shake too. It's always a good thing to do, I think, just to release the glutes as well as the hamstrings and the calves. And then I'm going to bring the right hand onto the belly and the left hand onto the chest. So I'm just going to lie there, so the right hand is on the belly, left hand is on the chest, and allowing the elbows to release down into the ground. So don't have the elbows hovering off the ground. We really are letting go here. Possibly an overused phrase in yoga circles, letting go. Don't let its overuse diminish its importance though. Shoulders are releasing back. And softly, if if you've not done so already, softly closing the eyes and softening the face. So allowing the eyes to be softly closed and the face to be released. So maybe you can bring the awareness to the forehead, allowing the forehead to be long and smooth, not kind of all wrinkled up. Allowing that forehead to release any holding on. Softening the eyes, allowing any tightness around the eyes to melt away, melting away into the ground. Just being aware of the jaw. We can hold a lot of tension in the jaw, clenching our teeth, either when we're awake or when we're asleep. And so jiggling the jaw from side to side a few times to release the jaw. And softening the lips, softening the nose. So any tension, any tightness in the face, allowing it to melt away into the ground. Same time, the crown of the head is soft. And the inside of the head is soft. So a lot of the time we can almost feel like the inside of the head can be like a clenched fist. Just imagine that clenched fist and releasing that, releasing the tension. So any mental or seemingly physical tension inside the head, allow that to melt away too. Allowing the awareness to come down into the neck. Front of the neck, the back of the neck, side to side, and the inside of the neck. So the neck not only physically holds the weight of the head all day long, but it is the vehicle through which we communicate. Just breathe into that space. Every in-breath and exhale, allow that to heal whichever part of the body requires it, to nurture that part of the body. The awareness moves further down into the shoulders, the upper arms, down into the elbows. It's connecting with the chest and the upper back at the same time. Just being present in the whole of that region, from the shoulders to the chest, the upper back, the upper arms and elbows. Wonderful to be present. Wonderful to be present. Every breath is a healing breath. Moving further down into the lower back and the belly. Both sides of the belly, into the waist. Breathing into the whole of that space, allowing the belly to rise and fall with the breath. Being aware of the groin and the buttocks, softening that region. Every in-breath, feeling the expansion and contraction of that region. Opening up, allowing of space, and letting go. Into the hip joints and the thighs and the knees. Allowing the breath to heal. To nurture. Coming now into the lower legs, the shins, the calves, the ankles, the feet. Total awareness of the lower legs and feet. Feeling the connection of the soles of the feet on the ground. And on the next in-breath, expand the awareness to the whole of the physical body, from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. The whole of the physical body. As you exhale, with each exhale, feel a connection of the body on the earth. Allowing any tension, any dis-ease to release down into the earth, to be transformed. And then allowing the earth energy to rise into the body, to nurture. So you could just stay there for a few more breaths, or as long as you require. That's a practice that can be done any time, in the morning or after a hard day. Spending a little time with the body, with the breath, connecting with the earth. I'm going to prepare to move now. So, just recognizing that they're going to do some simple movements. And on the next in-breath, we're going to reach up and over the head with both arms. So reaching up and over. And then as you exhale, bringing the arms back to the side of the body. So with your own breath, as you breathe in, you reach up and over the head. Hands end up behind the head, or however far back is comfortable for you. So just follow that movement with the breath, or should I say allow the movement to follow the breath. As you do so, just notice how the rib cage lifts as you bring the arms back, allowing the breath to lengthen, to deepen. And then next time the arms are by the side of the body, we're going to just keep them down now. We're going to do a simple practice here just to continue that breath work, breath and body work. So we're going to place the right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee, bringing the head onto the floor. And then as you breathe in, pressing the knees away from the body. And as you exhale, bringing the knees back in. So just follow that simple movement by just pressing the knees away as you inhale, and then bringing the knees back into the chest as you exhale. So following that movement with the breath. And again, this will just start to gently lubricate the hip joints, gentle massage of the abdomen. And just preparing really, or practicing that breath work. So, as a general rule, as the body opens up, we breathe in, and as the body closes down, we exhale. So we're following the natural course of the body. It's not that easy to inhale as you close the body down. So it's just a simple coordination of that movement and the breath. And then next time the knees are into the chest, as you breathe in, we're going to separate the knees out to the side. So separate the knees out to the side. And then starting to circle the knees. The knees are starting to circle, and the movement here is in the hip joints. You can feel into the hips. And start small with these circles, and then gradually get wider and wider, bigger and bigger circles. Exploring your range of movement. Are you moving in a smooth circle, or is it a little bit of a rocky road in there somehow? If there is any lumps or bumps, then just go slowly through those parts, just acknowledging that they're there, and maybe over time they'll smooth themselves out, but there's no real rush. And then starting now to circle the knees in the opposite direction. So it's a simple movement which is practiced quite a lot. I include this kind of thing in my own personal practice. And it's like, for me, yoga is about having a little explore, having a little look inside the body and the mind to see how it is, checking it out. It's giving it a little bit of a attention. Maybe this is a good way of spotting any potential injury before it actually happens. It's quite often the case that we only really take care of the body when it's broken. Make any attention to the body when it's broken. So this is a good opportunity to check it out right now. And then from there, what we're going to do is releasing that, allowing the left foot to come down to the ground. And this is where you may need a belt. So grab a belt, and it's going to place the belt around the widest part of the foot. So that's just below the toes. That's the widest part of my foot. Most people's. And then just simply pressing that right heel up into the air. And early on in the practice, it might be, if you're watching this early morning, then the legs or the body generally might be a little bit stiffer than last thing at night. So if you're struggling to get a straight leg, first of all, then just allow it to be a whatever angle. We're working up towards a vertical leg, but essentially, if your leg is at 45 degrees from the ground, then that's absolutely fine for now, as long as it's straight. So aim for a straight leg first, and then we bring the leg into a vertical position eventually. Maybe not today, tomorrow, maybe in a short while. And if you're comfortably here with your leg in a vertical position, straight, and as long as the sacrum's not lifted either, that's a bit of a shortcut on this one, but allowing that sacrum to be grounded. And as long as you're there, there's no shakes in the leg, don't be shaking the leg. That's a sign to ease off. And if you wanted to, you could straighten that left leg along the ground. But do keep that left foot engaged. So just move back a little bit here, hidden behind my sofa. So yeah, keep that left foot engaged. Don't let it flop to the side. Let's be mindful of this. And breathing in, lengthen the leg any way you can. Bring it more vertical. And then release that leg. So release that leg down. And giving that leg a little bit of a shake off. And we're going to come on to the other side now. So this time we're going to first of all put the left knee into the chest with the right foot flat on the floor, and then you can use the belt around the widest part of the foot. And if you've not got a belt, actually you could clasp behind that left thigh. But just be careful that you're not introducing any tension into the shoulders. As long as the shoulders aren't kind of up here like this and the neck is off the ground. And I should also say that if the head isn't comfortable on the ground, then you could always use a block or a cushion behind the head. That's absolutely fine too. So do be comfortable with this and not introduce any tension into other parts of the body. So this is all about the left leg right now, either with a belt or without. And to move it on, we straighten that right leg along the ground. And if you find that when you straighten that right leg along the ground, then you're sort of losing a lot in this, the left leg starts to shake and it's not, it's just too much, then you're in control. You can bend that leg, bend the right leg back a little bit, just make your own fine adjustments with this. All of our bodies are different, and you may even find that each of our legs are different in their openness. But wherever you are, be with the breath. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then let's release the legs, both legs, and giving both legs a little bit of a shake. And really nice stretch the arms above behind the head. Really nice stretch right side and left side. And then we're going to come up onto our front now. So a good way of sitting up here is to just place the palms of the hands onto the floor underneath the lower back and press up using the hands and elbows. It's always a good idea to find alternative ways of getting up. You never know when you might need them. If you've had a few babies, maybe. So, never join a yoga class, that's for sure. And so we're going to start with on our hands and knees. And you'll notice here that my my wrists are slightly in front of the shoulders. And the reason I do this is because I personally find, and a lot of people do find this, that having the wrists directly below the shoulders puts a lot of strain on the wrists. Maybe it's too much of a right angle going on in the wrists there, too much weight going through them, and you end up actually with feeling like you've got weak wrists or injury in the wrists. So having the hands slightly in front of the shoulders, so you've got this kind of jaunty little angle going on there, and then sitting back down onto the heels into child's pose. So just releasing back onto the heels or as far back as you can, and then just lifting the belly off the thighs a little bit if it's down there, and then placing the forehead either on the ground, or again, this is where blocks come in handy. Maybe you need one block or several. Just finding some way to release the forehead down, because the sense is that if there's any mental tension, physical tension around the head, we can allow that to release into the earth. So breathing in through the back of the heart, and exhaling through the forehead. So I'm talking metaphysically here, of course. We still use the nose for the breathing bit, but energetically breathing in through the back of the heart and out through the forehead, just allowing any stale energy, any mental dross to release down into the earth to be transformed. And as you breathe in now, coming up onto all fours, and releasing back into child's pose. So breathing in, coming up onto all fours, releasing back into child's pose. So a very gentle practice today. Breathing in, coming up. And what this is doing is it's gently massaging the belly. And then next time you breathe in, we're going to come up onto all fours, tuck the toes under, and then press back into our downward facing dog. And as you breathe in, releasing the knees down and resting back into child's pose. Or not resting back, but coming back into child's pose, because we're just going to carry on with this movement, breathing in, tuck the toes under, and then pressing back into downward facing dog. So just moving with the breath. So gradually starting to get more energy into the practice. We've released the stale energy, first of all, and now we're starting to cleanse the system by bringing in fresh energy, allowing that to nourish the body. This is the earth energy that's coming through the physical body and the mind. And then next time you're in downward facing dog, we're going to hold it there, but we're going to walk out the dog. So bending the right knee, allowing the left leg to be straight, and then coming onto the other side. So swinging from side to side
Just really enjoying this opening the legs. And if it's too much to hold dog, we're going to not hold it for long actually. And then coming back onto the knees. And we're going to do a cat-cow tilt. So arching the back like an angry cat, tucking the tailbone under, chin in. And then as you breathe in, we're going to lift the chest and eventually lifting the sitting bones. As you exhale, tucking the tailbone under, and the chin tucks in the last. So the movement is like a wave up and down the spine. It's really enjoying this movement in the spine. The main thing is not to throw the head back too much when you come up. So keeping the neck in line with the spine. And then we're going to come into a flat back position. And we're going to keeping the toes tucked under and making sure that the little toes are playing here. Keeping the knees together, we're going to sit back onto the toes, and this is a really sort of nice opening in the backs of the feet. Nice being a four-letter word. And then interlink the fingers, and then pressing the palms away and releasing the palms up to open the chest. And just being carefully not sort of overarching the lower back in particular. So tucking that tailbone under, release down, and then just nudging the fingers along one. So this is a sort of more, maybe the unnatural way of holding this, and then breathing in, open, and then exhale. And let's release those toes now. So it's, and I always forget to say that if you're susceptible to cramp, this is where you get it. Drink more water. And so having the feet so that they're flat on the floor. So really nice opening from the knees all the way down into the toes. And you could lean back a little bit. You can press the fingertips into the ground and to lift the knees if you wanted to make this a little bit stronger. If you were really crazy, you could give the toes a bit of a crack, but don't do that if it's not for you. So the alternative way of standing up is to tuck the toes under, and then we're going to come into this ragdoll forward bend. And when we're down here, so you can see my knees are bent here. My knees are bent enough so that my belly rests on thighs. So we're not in this position. We're not kind of hanging in midair. No straight legs, please. No straight legs. And when I teach this in classes, no matter how many times I say no straight legs, there's always somebody or several people who have got straight legs. No straight legs. No straight legs. You have been warned. So bend the knees, shrugging the shoulders a few times, allowing the weight of the head to release down. So really feeling that beautiful traction on the neck. So and again, when I walk through classes, people have got their heads kind of looking forward slightly, and I touch the back of the neck and I release it. So remember that the neck spends most of its life holding the head up. And this is a time for payback. So shrugging the shoulders, allowing the head to release, and do whatever you need to do to release the neck and shoulders. But wherever you are, please, 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 bend the knees. And then from there, the other thing we could do is to just give the knuckles a bit of a drag in a sort of figure of 8 sign on its side, the infinity sign. So this is really nice to do anything to release the upper body. And then come into stillness. And we're going to roll up the spine now. So if you've got any disc issues, I really would avoid this, rolling up the spine. I'll give you an alternative for disc issues. But if you're okay with this, then keeping the knees bent, and we're going to stack the vertebrae one by one from the bottom, and then we'll just lift all the way up, and eventually the head lifts, and then when we're at the top, we're going to roll all the way back down again. So if you continue to do that, if your spine is okay, you've got no issues there, just going ever so slowly without, just allowing eventually each individual vertebrae to move. And if you've got any issues with any disc issues, then really good idea is to really engage the glutes, keeping the knees bent, and then from there we're going to just lift up. We're going to kind of flat back position. So we're going to come sort of halfway. So this helps to strengthen around the back muscles. So that's an alternative there. So no spinal rolls with disc issues. And then eventually we're going to come all the way up to the top. And when we get up to the top, we're going to come right onto our tiptoes. So coming right onto the tiptoes. And I'll just adjust the camera there. I think my he's gone out on a fag break. Can't blame him. There we go. My camera person. So we're going to come right onto the tiptoes, lifting the chest and raising the arms up. Palms are facing forwards and upwards. Chest is opened here. So a little bit of a back bend going on. Back bends, heart openers. That's what they are, heart openers. Release down from there. And then, so feet hip width apart, let's come up again. Open. And this time let's sway from side to side. Heels lifted as high as they'll go. So we're kind of grounded, but we're flexible. We're moving from side to side. And if you want to come down out of this for a rest, then that's fine. But you join us again if you wanted to. And then coming up to the center,
And again, open the chest. Really nice opening the chest. Oh my God, it's wonderful. And then floating down. So hands touch the hips at the same time as the heels touch the ground. How's that? And just giving the body a little bit of a shake. And let's just release the shoulders now. So rolling the shoulders back. And I really do like to do these things slowly. This is a restorative practice. What is the rush? What is the rush? What is the rush? And then let's just circle the shoulders the other way. Spending a little bit of time doing this. And now once more, just releasing the muscles from the bone and the connective tissue. And let's just bounce, allowing the heels to lift. And then if you wanted to, you could become a Maasai warrior. You could bounce higher and higher. Ooh. Be careful of the sofa. See if you can, the crown of the head can touch the ceiling. That bit was optional, by the way. Just giving the legs a bit of a shake out there. And let's just coming into a gentle squat, so keeping the heels up. So connecting with the earth. So breathing in. And then let's just coming into this gentle forward bend here. Again, the knees are bent. And then let's just bring the hands onto the shins. So we're about halfway down here. So even if you can get all the way down to the ground, then just being halfway. Gently leaning forward, keeping the heels down. Just opening very gently the backs of the legs. And bending the knees, engaging the glutes. And we're going to lift using the glutes, coming all the way up. And bringing the arms up into the air. Open the chest again. And release from there. Giving the legs and arms a bit of a shake. Let's just do a little bit more work on the shoulders. So just moving the shoulders back. Lubricating the shoulder joints, looking over the shoulder as well so that you can just give a gentle twist in the spine, and then doing a front crawl with that same arm. And let's just move on to the other shoulder. And then just doing a bit of a front crawl movement there. And just releasing from there. And just breathe. And connecting again with the earth. Just closing the eyes. Being aware of the earth underneath the feet. Just breathing in, feeling the awareness rise up through the body, up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, feel the awareness descend from beyond the crown of the head, through the body, down into the earth. Carrying on with that breath. Gently releasing the chin to the chest. Open the eyes. And lift the gaze. I'm going to come down onto the ground again now. So just adjust this camera. So coming onto the ground. And from here we're going to just do some gentle twists in the spine. So having the hands, having the arms so that they're at shoulder height. And then allowing the knees to come first of all down to the right. And then coming over onto the left. So continue with this movement with the breath, bringing the knees from one side to the other to release the spine. Keeping the shoulders nicely grounded as you do so. And next time the knees have been on the left, then bringing them up to the center, hugging the knees into the chest. And again, just massaging the lower back into the ground. And rolling onto your right hand side now, and coming into a seated position. So this is where you may need a block. We're going to just sit tall with the legs out straight, so either on a block separating the flesh from the sitting bones. I'll just have a chamomile as you're doing that. And so let's just, so a very formal version of this is Dandasana. So a very formal version could be to have the arms right by the side of the body, shoulders moving back, looking down towards the toes, softly looking towards the toes. The less formal position is with the arms out to the side. So you decide which is the best for you.
But wherever you are, just be careful that we're not sort of leaning back. We are sort of sitting up, and this is where block comes in handy. Damn fine investment, the block. And from there, reaching up, open the chest and folding forward. So wherever the hands land, breathe it up and fold. And breathing in and up. And folding forward. And breathing in and up. And folding forward, and just keeping the hands there to wherever that is. So you can either be on the knees or the shins or the ankles or the feet, or if you've got a belt, then placing the belt around the widest part of the feet. But the main thing is to be nice and tall through the front of the body, hinging from the hips. So you're coming down with a flat back-ish position. So all the time, lengthening through the spine, and eventually the chin and the shin will meet. But in the meantime, it's just imagining that trajectory, that little dot, 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 and that's where they'll be. So achieving that trajectory. And breathe and lengthen. Is the chest opened? Is the chest open? And release from there. And all the way back. Open the chest. Really nice stretch, right side, left side. And then we can use the hands, placing the hands palm face down under the lower back, and then press the elbows and then the hands into the ground to sit up. And we're going to finish this practice now just by doing a gentle twist. So both legs out in front. We're going to place the right foot on the outside of the left knee, sitting up nice and tall, so you can use the hands around the shin to do that, and then placing the right hand behind, the left hand on that right knee. Breathe, lift, and then twisting into that right thigh. And I'm going to just move around here. So twisting into that right thigh. And then to take it on a little bit further, you can bring the inner elbow onto the outside of that knee. But the main thing is we're not kind of leaning back in this. We're sitting nice and tall, using that hand just to give ourselves a little bit of a nudge. And if you wanted to take this even further, then into a kind of a very intense twist, and you can bring the outer elbow outside of that knee.
for me today, this is absolutely perfect with the elbow just wrapped around the knee. So it's always worth exploring, and you can always come back. Leave it for another day. That's absolutely fine to do that. Shoulders are relaxed, released. And then from there, let's release from there. And rolling back. Lengthen the body. Right side, left side. And let's come up here. So again, we can just place the hands palm face down underneath the lower back, pressing the elbows and then the hands into the ground, coming up to a seated position. And let's go on to the other side now. So both legs out straight, and this time it's the left foot on the outside of the right knee. Using the hands to sort of bring the spine upright and lengthen the spine. That straight leg is nice, and foot is nice and straight and upright. Maybe even the toes can be nicely spread. Very useful for painting the toenails, I've heard. Breathing in and then using the left hand behind, and the right hand helps to twist into the left thigh, and you can bring the elbow into play if you wanted to as well. Or you can bring to give it a little bit more, and you can bring the outer arm, the upper arm on the outside of that knee. So wherever you really want to be with this posture, it's absolutely fine. This is kind of the sort of introductory sort of bit to this. If you more advanced practitioners might want to come into this kind of position, but I'll leave that to you. But really the trick is with any yoga posture is to be aware of the breath and be aware of the body. And so what that means is that if you're really twisted round and the breath is staggered and it's just too much, and your body is shaking, it doesn't feel right. That does not feel right, surely. So always ease off. And it's this balance between the effort and ease. So too much effort is too much shakiness and staggered breath. Too much ease is kind of like this kind of thing. So just keeping that balance between the two. And from there, let's release. Straighten both legs. And once more, let us stretch out the entire length of the body. Right side, left side. Really beautiful opening with, after all that crunching and twisting of the body there. Just allowing that really nice opening to
the stale blood and stale whatever to have been squeezed out and flushed away with as we open the body. And breathe. And we're now going to come into the final part of today's session, and that is a relaxation. Even more relaxation, you're asking? Yes, even more relaxation. You've got two choices. You can either be seated, and if you are seated, then having a couple of blocks is good. These kind of blocks at a bit of a jaunty angle so that it can tip your pelvis a little bit. Or you could be in a chair, of course, if that suits you. So this kind of thing, or you could be on a meditation cushion, or you could be just coming straight into Shavasana. So we're going to be here for about, in total, not too long actually, only about 8 minutes. Doesn't time fly when we're chilling out? So, well, I am anyway. So either lying in Shavasana or being seated, but wherever you are, just gently closing the eyes to bring the awareness inside. Allowing the breath to flow naturally. If you are lying in Shavasana, then pressing the heels away, first of all, and allowing the feet to flop out to the side. If there's any issues with the lower back when you're in Shavasana, then it's absolutely fine to have the legs bent so the feet are flat on the floor. And to open the chest in Shavasana, we have the hands so that they're with their palms facing upwards, about a foot away from the body. So this allows the chest to open. And we lengthen the back of the neck by bringing the chin towards the chest, but keeping the head on the floor. And if you do need it, then you can place a block or a cushion behind the head as a pillow. But wherever you are, breathe. So, gentle yoga practice or a restorative practice. A little bit more subtle than some of the hardcore power yoga that we could do. But subtle is good. Subtle is good. There's no need to be full on. all the time. Spending a little bit of time with yourself, the breath, the body. And observing yourself now as if you were a stranger. As if you were another person. As you breathe, as you release, being interested in you, being interested in what is happening inside. Inside the mind, inside the heart. Just simply watching. Being kind. Forgiving any imperfections there may be. Gently smiling. Just continuing to be the observer. Starting to breathe a little bit more deeply now. If you've been lying down in Shavasana, then starting to wriggle the fingers and toes, circling the wrists and ankles. If you've been in a seated position, then you may want to straighten the legs. And then we're going to reach up and over the head with both arms as we breathe in. Really nice stretch the entire length of the body. Yawning out any muscles in the face. And if you're lying down, then you could roll onto the right hand side. Hold it there for a couple of moments. As you breathe in, just coming up into a simple cross-legged position. If your eyes are closed, then you can lower the chin to the chest, open the eyes, and lift the gaze. Namaste.